So apparently Dead Rising isn't actually dead. There are some rumors of a brand new Dead Rising game in the works right now, and while details are somewhat scarce on its release date or even its reveal, we have a lot to unpack in the latest rumors. Now, as with anything, take this all with a massive grain of salt. And as for the things that we do know that Capcom tried to somewhat revive the Dead Rising series last year with Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster, a game in which I honestly had a lot of fun with. Now, the censorship criticism was warranted, I would say, but overall the game was still a fine attempt at revitalizing the Dead Rising franchise in today's gaming market. Well, let's go ahead and jump into these rumors coming from MP First. I believe they're the first people who have been reporting these rumors, and they have a plethora of details that we need to talk about right now. As you can see from the source itself, it says new Dead Rising game in development, now set in Hollywood. The article goes on to point out how Capcom has been revitalizing old IPs like Onimusha and an Okami sequel, and it also speaks about the most recent treatment that Dead Rising received last year, and that was a modern rework of the first title, which we all know that was Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster. And now, sure enough, it says our sources have recently shared with us that another major Dead Rising project is in the works. The project in question won't be a remaster or a remake, but it is a brand new entry into the series. We were also able to gather a good amount of details regarding the setting and the plot. Now, here are some plot details, spoilers for anybody I guess who doesn't want to know, but we're going to talk about it here in this video. It says, according to our sources, this new Dead Rising installment has been in development since 2023 under the code name Wreck, and will feature the return of the beloved protagonist Frank West. Now they better have TJ come back if Frank is back, because while the new guy didn't do too bad, you better have TJ if you want good PR, alright? This is particularly relevant as all signs point to the game being a direct sequel to the first title. However, we have not been able to confirm this latter detail officially, so you may want to take it with a grain of salt. Now, such a setting implies that the story could take place before Dead Rising 2, a game known for its shifting focus to a new hero, my man Chuck Green, leaving Frank on the sidelines until Case West. If this is indeed the direction Capcom is taking, it will be a smart move. With the existence of DRDR, they have the perfect opportunity to introduce newcomers to the series while providing direct narrative continuity to Frank West's storyline. Now, regarding the setting for this new zombie outbreak, we can confirm it will take place in Hollywood, primarily within a massive enclosed movie studio lot. We also know that the title's main villain will be an extravagant and deranged film director who forces Frank and other survivors into various trials, all in the pursuit of filming his perfect movie. So far, everything here seems pretty in line with what we have previously seen in the games, particularly the recurring appearance of insane individuals whom we've known in the series as psychopaths. These psychopaths will also be present here, sometimes acting as minions sent by the director. The article also goes on to say that Isabella Keys will also be in the game, assisting Frank with what appears to be a new type of zombie virus. And lastly, in terms of game mechanics, we also have some tidbits of info. These first details might seem obvious, but they confirm the return of Frank West's camera for taking photos of the environment. They also confirmed the return of the time limit and also survivors. Survivors are back. We know that is a core mechanic of the Dead Rising series. Now, perhaps you may want to know when the game will be released. Although we cannot confirm a release date, we estimate that it's still a considerable distance away. However, it is difficult to know for certain the release window, especially since we don't know how the scale of this Dead Rising project compares to Capcom's other upcoming projects. Regardless, everything indicates that a promising future awaits the franchise. This becomes even clearer considering that last year, Capcom showed interest in remaking Dead Rising 2 via a survey. This suggests that maybe more than one Dead Rising project could be in development right now, although we still need definitive answers. Now guys, let me go ahead and give my spiel on everything. Firstly, I am excited that the Dead Rising franchise is not dead. This is a series that should have never disappeared. This was a series that was insanely mismanaged and one of those rare Capcom L's where they couldn't keep the momentum of this franchise going in the proper direction. Maybe you can blame it on a restructuring of the company, but Dead Rising should still be one of their most prominent series that Capcom has to offer, which is why I can see that they're not trying to give up on the untapped potential of this franchise, because there is still a lot of potential left. Again, I enjoyed DRDR, and a lot of critics and fans did alike as well. I even went so far as to give it an 8.3 on my review here on this channel. So I would love to see Dead Rising come back fully swinging, just like my man Adam with these chainsaws. I mean, I think there's still so much love left in this franchise. And as for the direction of where they're going, there's still a big time gap between what Frank was doing and from the time that we met Chuck Green. I honestly am interested in a game that features Frank West's adventures or his downfall or whatever you may call it. I am interested to see what was Frank doing in that time gap from Dead Rising 1 to Dead Rising 2, even before Case Zero and Case West. So I am down for it. I would like to see co-op come back, so I'm hoping that that's a part of this project, if this is even real. There are certain things they have to do, like watch out for the censorship this time around. Even if it's a brand new game, we Dead Rising fans know when something is being tailored down. All right, so just keep it Dead Rising, keep it fun, keep it light, keep it goofy, keep it dead. Also, they have to bring back TJ. That was one of the biggest mishaps of DRDR, was the fact that it did not bring back a lot of the original voice actors, and that was a key core needed thing for the experience of Dead Rising. You have to bring back TJ, all right? That is a must-have. But as for this game, it being set in a Hollywood studio, it's certainly different than the mall setting, but I could see it working. If there's one thing that I would give the modern Capcom, they are pretty good at revitalizing things and making certain things work. So I'm not opposed to it until I see it. This game would just have to avoid looking cheap. It would have to avoid looking censored and watered down. It's just going to have to appeal to those good old hardcore Dead Rising fans like myself and be attractive enough to bring newcomers back into the series. For one, I love all the details that I'm hearing. I'm liking everything. I'm liking the return of Isabella. I'm liking the return of the time mechanic. I'm liking the return of Frank West. Although I do think it's time for my man Chuck Green to get a little bit more love. But if supporting this hypothetical game means that we get DRDR 2, then I am all down for it. So guys, that about wraps up my thoughts that I have on Dead Rising potentially coming back. I'm a fan. I want it to happen. I can't wait to see if this is real or if this is a bunch of fake smoke. Either way, how do you feel about the game being set in a Hollywood studio? Do you want more Dead Rising, or are you concerned about the future of the franchise because maybe you didn't like DRDR? Let me know. This could all be fake, but as far as I'm seeing, this seems pretty legit. It seems like these people don't have a bad reputation, so take everything with a grain of salt. Let's see if it's real. I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.